Welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode we focus on electrics. Okay, so if I posted my last video, I should have a few things that I left to do. So I've got a problem with the headlights, so I've got new bulbs here. And I think these will be the bulbs that go with them, maybe, or horns, because I've ordered those as well. What else have I ordered? I can't remember what I ordered now, but I should have everything here. So that's my indicator relay. I got bulbs, I got lights, and I got horns, and I don't know what's in this one. So these two have my horns, these are the actual bulbs, and these are my lights, so convert from the sealed unit to the regular. And then here, as we already saw, my repeater, and then I have got a couple of relays that I had bought for the MGB when I was doing that and didn't use, and those should work fine. So that's for the fogs, and I managed to find this eventually, which is the nut for the washer. So I'm going to start. I noticed that when I was doing the photos and little bits of video for the previous episode, I noticed that my fog lights, no, not my fog lights, my hazard lights are no longer working on the left hand side. So I'm going to correct that, and so I'm back to where I was, and then I shall replace these, all of this stuff, and see where we are. Doing one at a time. So I thought I'd start by just showing you that the new wiper nut is on and it holds it up nicely, and I've put the cover back in, so it's all put back together. And with the indicators, I just wanted to show that it works both inside. You can see the left and the right there. And if you then have a look at the lights, we can see that they are working both on the left side and the right hand side. Well, sorry, on the right hand side. We'll swap it over and go and look at the left hand side now. So there's the front. So although you may have just seen me working on this switch, it's been about 6 weeks for me. I now have the lights working. I just had to give this a bit of a push, so I've clearly not got the greatest connection in there, but it's now coming on nicely all the time, no matter what I do over here. Ah, no, there we go, good. So, I don't know why I said good, but there you can see it's a bit it's not quite coming on at the same time, but it's clearly the connection in there, so for now that's fine. Okay, so I thought I'd start by showing you the lights, what's coming. As you can see, the old light has the electrical connectors on it, whereas the new light doesn't. So the light goes in, and we have this rubber seal. Now I made a mistake. I thought the rubber seal had to go over the electrics, because of that, I then went and boiled them to loosen them up a bit. And you can see me doing that there. So they're nice and hot there. And that allowed me to stretch them over the electrics like that, which was great. But then I realised, actually, no, they're meant to be clear up against it, and the light will go in from behind. So I did that, and then I tested it, and as you can see here, with me flashing them, we have lights working, and we have a bit of a problem there with that one not coming on. And I couldn't remember what I was showing you there, but we got it fixed, and there we have. The first day I was there, it was really cold. I'm just showing you the snow. I didn't get much work done. So here I just thought I'd show you what the new horn looks like compared to the old one. You can see the bit of rust there. And this is a clearer connection once they're off. And as you can hear here, it sounds like the relay's going. Actually, it's not. I'm pulling it forward slightly, and that's the relay for the headlights. So I made a bit of a mistake there, but as you can see, we're not getting any power through to the horn at this stage. So that's with it pressed. I guess there's a tiny bit going through, but I don't think there really is. So I started by checking where we got power at the fuse, and you can see that's... This is confusing a little bit to me. I'm going to see if I can explain it, but 54 here is my horn relay. And so you can see that power comes in from here. It comes from this end, which is brown wire, which goes to the battery, through the fuse, which I've already shown you works, into a purple wire. It comes in here. Okay, this is the switch. This is the which I push on the steering wheel. So it comes in here, it goes out, and at this junction it comes down and across and into 60. And 60 is the map courtesy lamp, and there's a switch there, so when that switch is flicked, the bulb comes on. When it's not switched, it just continues on. It goes into 61 and to earth, and 61 is the door switch. It goes to 61, which is another door switch. It goes into another courtesy map light, and then comes out and goes into 53. And when you press that button, it comes in and down and in, causes this to flip over, and so power goes off to the horns. Okay, simple. Although I'm surprised it's all coming in along the one wire, but that seems to be what's going on. So I've already tested that, but I'm going to do it again. I'm then going to see if I can find the relay. No, I'm going to see if I can find power here, and then I'll go to the relay. So I started by checking that I'm getting power through, and as you can see with the light, I am. Started by checking this switch. So it's the horn switch, and when I press it in, I should get power that's been coming in. I should get a connection and get it coming out. Now, according to the wire diagram, the purple brings power in, and purple takes it out. Although in the previous year's model, it's purple and blue that takes it out. Anyway, what I've done is I've connected my little lamp up to power. I've gone through each and every one of these with it connected up, and then with the horn pressed, I've tested for it to come out of one of the others, and I'm not getting a light coming on. So that either means this is the wrong one, which I don't think so. I think that's the one that's coming in there. Yeah, it's the only one with purples on them. And so that must mean I'm not getting a connection in here. Anyway, so we're gonna, I don't know if I've got my things to take the to take this off. I don't know if I've got big enough nut with me. Blast. Anyway, I'm going to try to get this off next. We'll see. Oh dear, that was a mistake. So I had to remove this in order to get access to this. In doing so, I managed to have this fall apart. So this spring came out. I saw at least one little metal bit head down through that hole. Bugger. And so I'm going to have to get all of this out here now, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get this past here, to be honest. Okay, so I think the reason that the horn wasn't working is that that had broken off. So, positive news is I think I diagnosed it correctly. The less positive news is I haven't got a clue how that goes back together, because bits were falling out all over the place, and I'm not sure I've got everything. On the other side, I think I've got this back together properly. So this clicks along. I haven't tested it yet, but I couldn't get it to click nicely with the spring in. And I can't see how the spring goes on this side, so it must be on this side somewhere. And there are two places. It either goes in here at this connection, or it goes in here at this connection. I'm going to try again. Right, it's taken me a while, but I think this spring actually goes here. Not all the way to the end, but above the top here, above that one, and then in between this and this. And the reason for that is to get that is the spring for when you do just an intermittent swipe. So let me show you. Okay, so with this then fitted in, you've got two movements up, which would be 1, 2, for your 1 and 2. And then when you try to go down, it catches on that spring and pushes it back. So I think that's right. Unfortunately, when I stick that in the car, it doesn't work. Okay, it's taken me a while, and I had to find a couple more bits, but I've got this side working again. There we go. So you can hear that's the wiper motor going. You can see them turning, and including the okay, so that's got that sorted. It's dark out. That gives you some idea. Although I did not spend a lot of time on it because I was getting so annoyed. Anyway, back to that. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix the other side. I think I made such a mess of that. I don't know if I've got all the bits or anything, so I have ordered a new one and we'll see when it arrives. So number 99 is my stop lamp switch. So that's on the brake pedal. Goes through to the lamps. Okay. It comes in from the fuse. So the white here indicates that that is from the ignition switch. And if we follow that back, there we go. So the white comes into the fuse, goes through, and it comes to the brake switch. Number 97 is the reverse lamp switch, which until I have the gearbox in I can't see. That's confusing. Where's that going? Into 50. 50 is the hazard switch, right? So I know my hazard lights are working. So I know it's getting to here. Comes in and goes straight out to 67. The cool at low indicator. Ah, no, I think that's always coming on. I'm not sure. Okay. And then it goes from here and it goes on. So first thing I'll do is I'll test that I've got power to here. And actually, I think I should have, if I've got power coming into the one side. So when that opens, somehow, no, so it opens when the thing is pressed. So I should have power into one and not into the other. And then when I push it, I should power into the other. Okay, so this is the brake pedal. Oops. This is the brake pedal. This is the switch. Okay. The bottom wire here is green, so that's the one that's coming in, and the one above is green and purple, so that's the one that's going out. So I'm going to switch the ignition on and test this cable, the green cable first. And there we can see we've got power to the green when the ignition's on. So what we'll now do is try to connect it to the output terminal. I hope you can see there that I've connected my lamp to the output. And then without the pedal pressed, there's nothing. And with the pedal pressed, we have the light coming on. So it's coming all the way through there, so we know the switch is working. Okay, so this is me trying to test. This is the bulb from the back left. And we can see that that works. So we know that that bulb is working. Did I actually get that in the video? Oh, why did that work last time? Okay, right, I didn't check it again, hang on. Yeah, it does show up in the video. Okay, good. So we know that that's working. So we've got a boom on the pedal and just testing the switch. And we can see that that's got the switch working. So now I can go and see if I've got power at the other end. Here we are at the other end. You see I've got it earthed on the earth strap there. Got it poking in and no light. So I'm not getting power to here, which is a little concerning. If we come back to our switch here, number 99, the only join after that appears to be there. So that would be where the rear harness is connected up. So I'm going to go and see if I've got power there now. Okay, so the wire that I'm interested in is the green and purple. Okay, so this is the green and purple here. Just there. Okay, which is on this second prong, just here. Right, so that's that one that we can see top left, not top left. So the top left one here would correspond to top right on the other one. Okay, so it would correspond to that. Yeah. Because we're looking at this, when we turn it over, yeah. Okay, so it's that one. So when I, okay, so I'm not getting power. through to here. I know it's working because if I do one where I know I've got power, okay, but the brake light is not getting me power through to there. I'm not sure why at the moment. Okay, so I'm taking power directly from the battery. I'm going along. I'm bypassing the pedal altogether, and I'm putting power straight in to the blue and purple, green and purple, just there. Okay, so that should have power going straight in. Let's test that. Okay, and we can see we've got power to there. There we go. Okay, so we've got power to there. And that is giving us power all the way through to here. So that means that the connection's not good enough over there. And in fact, we can see when I've got power going directly in, we've got this one coming on, although not this one at the moment. So I'm going to play around with this for a bit and get that working. And that in fact just required the connection being turned an eighth of a degree, or an eighth of a 360. So the brake lights work, it's something at the switch. So I think the broom was slipping slightly. You can see the reflection. Actually, you can't see the reflection very well in the midst, so I can see it, but it doesn't come out well on the camera. Okay, so today's the first day I'm looking at the fog lamp. So number 26 here is the switch. Okay, 22 are the front fog lights. 23 is the rear fog light guard. Okay, so when the switch is up, so the power is coming here, this bottom one. Power's coming in here, go back, and it's a very convoluted route, but it comes up, goes along here, down here, through there, through here, back around up there to here, there. So it goes through that fuse and it goes through all of that stuff. So that's a brown, so that comes from the battery N. So it goes through that fuse and then goes through all of that to get to here, here. Okay, and then when we throw the switch down, we must connect the top somehow because we send a power up here. 26 goes to 18, which is the dip beam, so it must switch those on at the same time. Okay, and it must also throw this, 22. Now I thought it went through a relay as well, but it doesn't seem to. So what we'll look at is, what will we look at? I think what we'll look at is if I apply power directly to the fog lamps, will they come on? Okay, so actually the first thing is I appear to have two fog lamps. That's one which got two switches, and there's one which only goes down one. So I don't know if, I don't really want to take this off again. I hate getting back there to look at the wiring colours. So I'm going to do that as a last resort. Okay, look, here's my fog lamp. Okay, yeah, so you know this comes off for it, and this has a wire which is hard to show. Yeah, it's hard to show, but basically it comes through and it comes out here. It's this wire here, which then runs along here and up here into this relay. So, and a second wire goes across to the other side. So for the front headlamps, we definitely have something here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if any of these get power when either of the switches are thrown. So I've connected my light up to the, and I've thrown all of the switches around fog lights and nothing. It's getting, oh no, there we go, right. So we're getting power through to this one. But only that one. And it's being consistent as well, isn't it? Yeah, let's clean these off and have another go. Okay, I've only done anything on this node so far, but that's now coming on much more easily. And so this one is on no matter where the light switches are, so that must be permanent power. That must mean one of the others should be getting power coming out. Okay, but I don't know which, so I'm going to take this off. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take this off and see if I can. I might just put a different one on, but see if I can work out what's going on here. Right, I've cleaned all of these up. I get power to here no matter what I have on the switches. No matter what I do on the switches, I don't get power to any of the others. Now, my understanding of how relays work is you apply power to 30, I think it is, and it should come straight out at 87. Here we go. So you apply power to 30, and I can't remember how these work. And then if you apply power to one of either 85 or 86, it swaps it so that power goes to the other. Now, I'm not seeing anything at the moment, but I could try applying power to one of the others and see if that works or does anything. I have a couple of these which should be the same, or even though they look a bit different, the diagram is the same. And it's reacting exactly the same way as this one at the moment, which is why I'm leaving this one on. So I'm going to have a think about what to try next. Okay, I have this screen connected up to my power. When I apply it there to the bottom one, we can hear it go. And I now have power to the red. The red cable wires are the ones that go into the lights. So I want to go and have a look at those lights, see if anything happens when I do that. So these are my fog lights here. I've taken the covers off. And the answer is no, I'm not getting anything. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these off and see if the bulbs are working. Okay, so I've taken the screws out, taken the nut off. Now this looks like it's a sealed unit. As you can see here, I'm not sure that I can take a bulb out of there. This glass doesn't appear to come off. So if that's sealed, it might be just that it doesn't work, but what we'll try is we'll try some power to here and earthing that and see if we get a light. Okay, actually the bulb does come out. So the power goes in here, this is earthed, in theory, across the green. So I'm going to see how I can test that. Right, every time I try to test this, I'm just getting a short. So somehow I have to get a wire deep in there, not touching anything on the outside, which would appear what that's meant to do. And the only thing on the outside is earthing it. Right, I've applied power directly to the red wire. Neither bulb is coming on. Right, I've also tried to just make sure I'm getting power here, and you can see I am. So we're getting power to here, we're getting power to the bulb isn't coming on. That could be because this earth is poor. Okay, so I've got this wire here connected to earth. And assuming that's in there okay. Well, before that was, right, good. Oh, look at that. Okay, so the earth is not good. But once we get an earth, and this one comes on. Okay, good news. Right, we're gonna have a bake here. Okay, this is the other side, which looks a lot cleaner. And if you look at just in here, that appears to go, the red appears to go into the plastic bit. So I think it's meant to be fixed in there, and I've probably broken the one on the other side. And then I think they're connected up here. So on this side, I'm going to undo this tape. I'm then going to see if I can get this one working with that. And if so, I'll put more tape on it and put it back together. Okay, so the first question is, am I getting power through to here? And the answer is yes. So we know that we're getting power along here and in. And now the next question therefore is this earthed properly? And when I connect it to earth, that doesn't seem to make any difference. No, that doesn't do anything. So I don't know if this bulb isn't working. No, so this bulb must not be working because we've got the power coming in and then it's not going on unless the connection here is pulled. But either way, the bulb is still not working. So we need to replace this bulb by the look of it. And then hopefully this connection is good enough, but we don't know. Need to replace the bulb. Don't know if this earth connection is good enough. But we know we've got power through to here because we've got the light on when we earthed it. Okay, so I've tidied the fog lights away again. I know that I'm getting power to them. I don't know that they're earthing properly. I think both of the bulbs are gone. But what I also know is that I'm not getting power to the right cable to the relay. I'm having to apply that directly. So I'm going to see if I can work out that bit of it. Okay, so here are my two fog switches. And I'm not trying to make sure the switches are working just yet. Although maybe that's what I should do since I've got it open. But what I wanted to look at is the wires. So this one has a yellow and red and a red. And this one has purple, blue and red, and white and red. And possibly yellow and red. So this has a yellow and red, white and red, purple, blue and red. So I think that's the proper one. And this must be for something else, I think. Potentially the fog at the back. So I'm going to have a look at the wiring diagram and see what that says now. I don't remember what colours I said, but we have a red and yellow. Yeah, I remember saying that. A red and blue. a blue and red. No purple. I remember saying purple, which I don't see at all. And then the other one was red and yellow, but it just had the two. Yes, very confusing. But I think the one on the left-hand side represents this one. So that's what I'm going to base it on. Okay, there's my smashed rear fog light, which only has a black wire going into it. When I come into the boot, if I can, there we go. So that's the black wire that's going down. That there is the black wire that's going down through. And if we follow that along, it's connected up there. Okay, there. And that is a red and blue. This here shows a red and blue going to number 23. 23 is the rear fog guard lamp. Okay, so I think that's the right switch, which means I should have a blue and red, or a red and blue. Blue and red. Which goes to the dip lights, and then a red and yellow which goes directly to the fog lights. Okay, so somewhere my red and yellow is changing to go to that relay for some reason. Okay, so if I come back to where the relay was, I've got the red wire is obviously going off. The green is my earth coming back. All right, this is the one that's got power coming into it all the time, which is in here, in this black cable. And then I've also got these two black wires, one of which is going to earth, and the other one is coming back along here as well. Okay, and the thick wire here, which is the one that's got the power, is going through a fuse that's there. And that would look like it's then coming in to here. And it looks like it's been spliced into here to get direct power from there. Whereas the thin black one is going through there. That would appear to be what's going on. Okay, and so the thin black wire is going back into the engine bay. I don't mean engine bay, obviously I mean the fuse box and wiring loom. I just checked the colours again. Right here, there is a purple coming in, which is what we'd expect. So I'm confident this is the right switch. I just can't find where they've spliced the other wires in instead. Okay, so this black wire here is in fact that black wire. I know that because I just tried pulling on it from the other side and it moved. So I think I'll just do that again just to confirm it. I can't reach it from here. Yeah, okay, so I've put that underneath now and I confirm that that's the same black wire, and that is then going in there somewhere. So, and it's going off in here, so I should be able to find it in there. I should be able to find it back here somewhere. Okay, so that black wire is coming here, which is getting spliced into the yellow and red stripy one, which is coming in here, and that's connecting to this red. And I suspect this red is just looks to me, yeah, so the red's connected up to this, so the red should just have power. Comes into here, and so it goes from that. So this should be the switch that sends the power for that black relay. This one, not this one. Okay, and so let's try taking that switch out and seeing if we can clean that up and get that working. So that's off, because I mean, just looking in there, it is pretty grimy. Right, so here's what that switch looks like when taken apart, and that is pretty awful. So we'll give that a clean and see if we can get connections. Okay, I've cleaned that up. So if you look at this, when we put it in the on position, that bar is just going straight across the top. Okay, so with it like this, then this bar here is horizontal like that when in the on position, and it's like this when in the off position. That means that I need to make sure that these bits at the top are really clean, because that's where the connection's actually going through. It's not going through these terminals, just the top. Right, third time lucky. So I've cleaned it up, and if I just touch the bottom of the terminal underneath, and I touch on the tip here, you can see over there we've got a connection. If I do the same on the other one, we've got a connection. So that's connecting up okay. Now we're going to put the back together and test that we get it through. Right, and so I've got it in the on position, and when I touch them at the back, I'm getting a connection, so that's good. And in the off position, I'm not, which is also good. So looks like that's sorted this out, so we'll now fit it on and see if we can get power to where the relay is. Okay, I've got the switch on the inside. When I connect this up, I don't get power. And it is definitely that one. I've tested that this one is the one that goes to the earth, just here. And you can see that when I put it in there and connect to power, that goes on. So that's getting earthed here. So why isn't this currently now getting power? No? Someone tell me. I don't know. Okay. So, it's that way up. Power coming in the top, going out at the bottom. Comes to there. So I'm going to take this off and see if I'm going to take this off and see if I've got power. I'll take the red off and see if I've got power to the red. That's what I'll do. Alright, so we've got no power to the red. Got that connected up to earth. And so no power is coming through to the red. So I need to see what switch is on the red, and I was wondering if it was the side lights. I don't know if it's this maybe. No, so I'm going to have to have a look at. It goes from there to here. I'm positive of that, aren't I? Yeah, it definitely goes in there. So it's going from here to here. This isn't getting power, which is why it's not going through. So I just need to work out how that's meant to be getting its power. Okay, so my only red and white wires are here. Can't find them anywhere else on here. And this is all for the internal lighting and the rheostat and things like that. So that gets driven from here, comes after the fuse for the lights. Okay, so 21 is the front parking lights. So with the front parking lights on, I should get power there. I thought I tried that, but I shall try again. Okay, so we've got the side lights on. We've got this on. No, we don't have that. And then we've got this. We've got it connected up. No power. I then thought, let's just give this a quick twist. So that seems very dubious to me that you want the fog light on the internal illumination. But that seems to be what we have. Anyway, I'm going to connect this up again and see if I've got power to the fog light. No, that still hasn't worked. So I think I'm going to stop now for today and have another go tomorrow. It's the next day. I can't quite remember where I got to yesterday. But what I want to understand is if I'm getting power through from here to the back cable. So I've connected that directly up to power. I've got my light in here, and when I earth the other end of this, so we have got power coming through that cable when it's applied. Okay, and there I've connected those up. I've got my lights in the cabin up to full, and we've got this earthed, and we've got light. And now, if we dim our lights, there we go, so we've dimmed those. And we do still have some power coming through. So we can get power to here. Good, so that's working. So it's all about whether it then gets to the lights. So we're gonna connect the fuse box, this back up. And I'm going to see if we can hear it switching. Right, so here's the, and I'm going to, right now, we've got no power to here. So I'm going to go and but we should have power over here. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go over and switch it on and see if we've got power coming out here. And we do. Good. So this is working. Okay, so we've got the power up to here. Come to our fog lights, and we don't have anything. So I'm going to just take these covers off and test that we've actually got power to here. This seems to have decided to stop working. Got power there, got power here, nothing here. So I don't know why that's happened. I'll try swapping it out. Okay, so I've connected up a different relay, and you can see we've got good power there comes in here, well, and then it's only a weak connection going out, which I'm not very happy with. So I might need a different relay. But it's a weak connection going out. And when I come over here, I have the same weak connection. However, when I use this to earth it, I don't. Oh, I do now. Right, okay, fine. So this is earthing. Yes, okay, so it is earthing. So this side is earthing at least. I'm just not happy with that relay really. I'm going to try the other side as well now. And as we can see, I've got the same sort of connection here. So I'm getting power to the lights. The lights are earthed, so the bulbs must be gone. Okay, so before I put all of this back in, I want to check the rear bulb. Now, it's broken at the back, but I should be able to test if I've got electricity there. So if I throw the switch, this shows rear fog. So I'm assuming to come down 2 would then be for the front lights, which the front fog, which is actually going through here instead. So if we just go here, I'm now going to go and test my power at the back to see if I got fog light power. Yes, we do, and we've got proper power coming through. That's what we should see at the other end as well. Okay, so I need to work on that relay. Well, I thought I'd been putting these wires on the same way as I took them off, but it's off now currently, so this is my permanent power, and then I have nothing to anything else. And then if I switch the light on, then I now have power coming through underneath. There. So I've got power coming through underneath and coming through to here. And this one which goes to earth. So I still don't think this is right, because I'm sure when power comes in through here, it's meant to go somewhere. And then when power comes in through the other one, it swaps it. But I'm not getting that. So I think there might be something wrong with this. If anyone can confirm, that'd be great. But that is now getting an appropriate power through. So we're sticking with that for the time being. I think the last electrics I could test at this stage, without the engine in, is the rear window demist. And honestly, I don't know how I would do that, because this is all quite well covered. I don't know if you'd feel a current on these. So I'm going to have a little read about if you can get a very small current out of this or something. Maybe talk to my dad, see what he knows, and maybe come back and test that. Okay, so the heated rear window demist. So this is the switch. So we have a white wire coming in. Well, we know a white wire is going to come from the ignition at some point. So ignition has to be on, and it will come in here. And I don't know if it's coming in from 2 places or what, but it will come in. Then it goes on to 93. And 93 is the warning light, and then it goes through a fuse and to 92, which is the rear windscreen. Okay, so first thing is, I've just tried it with the ignition on, put on the switch, I don't get the warning light. So if I don't get the warning light, that indicates the switch isn't working, so we're going to get that off and have a look. Okay, so that's our wiring connection, and so we've got just the 2 terminals, And as they're facing me, the power should come in at the top, and it does with the ignition on. Okay, so that's good. And if I try to feed power from one to the other, I don't get anything coming up. Which is less good. I do get a spark here occasionally, but not consistent. Okay, well, let's go and have a look at the... Oh, that's warmed up. Let's go and have a look at the switch. Okay, here's the switch off. As you can see, when it's in the on position here, and then we get connection across the top, not to the terminals at the bottom, but just at the top, so I need to make sure it's clean there. So we'll take this off now and just see if we've got connections everywhere. Clean it up and then see if we've got connections. Okay, so we can see here, having cleaned it up, if I connect to the bottom and the top up here, I've got a connection. We can see the numbers. If I do it on the other terminal, we've got it. I haven't tried it with the switch yet. There we go. So we have a switch. So the switch is working. So instrument panel on. If I put the demist on, I'm not seeing any warning light. This is what I'm trying to get to at the moment. I've had a quick Google for where it should be, and I think they're saying it should be this one up here, which I thought was the beam actually, but then maybe the beam was in here somewhere. I can't remember now. But what is certain is I am not getting a light to it. Now that could be because this bulb's gone, but I know that switch is now working. So lack of a light here could be the instrument panel. I don't know. The other thing I've tried is just, I've got onto a bit of metal here. I assume this is where the power comes in to do that. I don't know if I should be seeing a voltage there, but I'm not seeing anything. So I'm not going to progress on the rear window demist because I don't know what to do. If anyone's got any advice or thoughts about how you go about checking it, I'd be delighted to hear. Thanks. Okay, so I know this isn't Electics, but I've installed new cylinders for the rear brakes. I don't know if anyone remembers, but the old ones, which I installed, completely rusted up. You can't move these at all, so and I suppose I could have tried a bit of pressure on them to get them going, but I've replaced them. So those are now in. I just need to give it a quick bleed and that should sort that. Right, I think that might be it for this episode. I think it's quite a long one as well. So I think that's probably the Electics. What's the 80-20 rule? You get 80% of it done, 20% of the effort. So I think that's probably 80% done. I wish it were more, but so I think everything's working apart from the rear demist, which I don't know, and the horn, which I need the new switch for. And obviously the pop-up lights, which I'm not even looking at the moment. I'm just going to get those fixed up, and then, you know, once I've dealt with everything else on this car, then I'll come back to those. I think that is everything therefore. So we got side lights, we got beams, we got dips, we got indicators, we got hazard, We've got fog lights, even though I need the bulbs and the rear light. We've got the washer, wipers. What we haven't done is the motor. That's because I just need to replace that motor, so I need to add that to my list. I think that's I really think I've got everything that I can do. I mean, obviously I haven't got reversing light yet, because I can't do that until I got the engine installed and connected up to the gearbox. But brake lights, I've also, you know, as you've seen, dealt with the rear brakes now. So the plan was to finish the electrics and then stick the engine in. I do have another day here, and I have stuck an engine in a day in the past. But right now, I don't fancy doing that and then driving for 10 hours, achy and pained and stiff the following day. So I might not do it, and I might leave it to my next visit, where I'd be able to review what I've done in the past and have an idea about what I'm doing. In fact, I mean, I'm like 99% certain I'm going to do that. So my plan really is that get the electric bits that I need to finish it ordered, have them here, so the next time I come I can get those in within half a day and have the electrics all sorted, and then stick in the engine. But that is likely now to be February before I get the chance to do it. So I hope you enjoyed, and sorry I haven't been around much, but it's likely to be February before I'm back again, so it's going to be another long break. Thanks for watching, and any thoughts, do let us know.